And welcome back to part 8 of What If Goku Never Hit His Head? Yeah, I didn't get this out yesterday. I've been a little behind this week, honestly, but I'm doing it today. Don't worry, and all the videos I have today are going to be done today. And I don't actually have anything that's overly long I need to do today. So last time on the Dragon Ball Z What If, we were dealing with the dastardly Babidi. Debora and Babidi felt that they had no other options, that they would have to face the Kais and the Saiyans on their own. But then Debora made an excellent suggestion. Babidi scanned for evil auras, evil souls, and found a ripe one in Prince Vegeta. And that's where we left off, with Vegeta being, attacked by the Majin symbol, initially finding it, but then realizing what it would mean. And ultimately becoming Majin Vegeta. Now, they send them back to the World Martial Arts Tournament, and Vegeta's like, excuse me one second. Got a little bit of the burps coming up. I was like, Vegeta, I can't believe you would do this! What's wrong? Why would you just... my actions are my own. My actions are my own. Now there's nothing that can stop me from taking what I want. You're finally defeating both of you taking both of you clowns down, taking the Dragon Ball's immortality. The resurrection of the Saiyan race will soon come to fruition. And that's very good, Vegeta, but I want you to kill them. Kill the Supreme Kai. And, if they can get energy from him, great. And you would think Vegeta would want to go after Goku, but it's actually Raditz he's a little bit more pissed off with, because even though Goku sure is always been stronger than him at this point, Raditz is the one who actually beat him in the fight. Goku certainly helped, and he certainly harbors anger at Goku, but it's Raditz he actually hates a bit more at the moment, because he spent all those years with Raditz being the inferior one between the three of them. And now Raditz has been a superior to his for a while, and he's just not having it anymore. It's like, don't worry, Cloud, I'll come after you later. But first, I want your big brother. That's it. What? You want me, Vegeta? Why? Have you learned nothing after all these years? It's like, I've learned one thing. You aren't worthy of the power you have to lord it over your rightful superior, like it's just something casual to be holding. No, I will not stand for this anymore, Raditz. It'll be you and me, and then I'll take down your clown of a brother. And Goku's like, you, Kakarot! I'll take care of this. Go with the Kais and go. Go with the Kai and your son. Go get Debora and Babidi. I'll take care of this. But I have one request, Babidi. Take us away from something. He does the same thing Goku does. It's like, papaya! And, Shen and Goku and Gohan head out to, quickly go and take down Debora and Babidi. It's like, after he's like, kill the Supreme Kai. No! Get out of my head! I refuse. It's like, well, that's very funny, Vegeta, but don't kill. You have my body and mind, but that's one thing a Saiyan always keeps. His pride. I still always love that moment. It's like, Bobby's like, what kind of insane will clouds a possessed man fight against a possessor? Who are these people? There'll be no more interruptions. And, Brad's just like, and he powers up the Super Saiyan 2, which in this version I think Vegeta definitely attained. Wow, Vegeta, this may take longer than I thought. You see? This is all fate! Which, by the way, we should point out, by the way, that we know the Majin symbol. It's not like it's a times 10 buff or anything like that, but we know it does amp you to some degree. Because Vegeta wouldn't have done it. First off, he knows it was going to bring out his selfish desires, but he also knows it was a little bit of an increase in strength. It was going in strength, increase in strength because of what it actually did, even for like Yamu and Spopovich. They were stronger than they had been. They weren't because they could even fly and things along those lines. So the Majin symbol clearly gave them some sort of amp. It wasn't a huge amp. I wouldn't even go so far as to say it was a multiplier of 1.5. But it clearly amped them on some level, and Vegeta clearly got that amp too. Which actually tells us Goku was still weaker. Goku was still stronger than Vegeta. Vegeta, I said that weird. Vegeta. Vegeta. In fact, Vegeta even kind of pointed out when he saw Goku kind of, go to Super Saiyan 2 there. Now, the question is also whether or not Vegeta had actually reached Super Saiyan 2 naturally, or was it the Majin symbol that allowed him to do it? My money goes on he did it naturally, because it's not like he would just instinctively know, oh, I can go Super Saiyan 2 now. Ha ha! No, it's, I'm going to power up to my full power to fight you. Anyway, so Raditz and Vegeta are now duking it out, and their fight's going to go very close to what Goku and Vegeta's fight goes to, at least initially. And they'll be getting a lot of energy from that fight. And now see Goku and Shin and Gohan show up. Ah, you're just in time. Welcome. And Goku is, Goku and Gohan power up and ready to fight. They're also looking at the gauge. Keep in mind, in this version, they did not score a big haul of energy like they did with Gohan. In fact, even with Goku, Raditz, and Vegeta fighting, Boo's probably only just reached 50% at this point. So they actually got some time here, and Raditz even knows this, and is trying to convince Vegeta, but he just can't. So the differences here are that Goku and the gang are actually there to fight Debora, and Goku immediately goes to Super Saiyan 2, and it's like, nope. It's like, no, as Debora's about to try to do anything, he just grabs him by the head, like, I'm not going to even let you try to get one out on us, and just starts crashing through Debora through the walls. And it's like, you're not going anywhere, Babidi. And he creates a shield. It's like, you're not getting through me. It's like, yeah. Because remember, even Piccolo, because he get through one of those, it took him a little bit of effort, but he got through the shield that he put up. If you kill me, Boo, it's going to be uncontrollable. And he even tried to do magic whatever on Piccolo. Can't remember what I remember when he threw something on Piccolo and it was causing his body to kind of spasm. Oh, it looked like leeches. It wasn't living, but it looked like goopy leeches. And then Piccolo just boom. I was like, yeah, no. So even Piccolo was strong enough at that point to do something. So Goku is taking care of Debora. Gohan and Babidi or Shin are taking care of Babidi. Ultimately, this does lead to the death of Debora. And the, not the containment, but the neutralization of Babidi. And this still begs the question, does Boo get woken up? Well, the last they checked, when they check, the gauge is at 70%. But you remember in the series, it's wobbling, going up and up. But at one point, it just kind of finally stops. And they wonder what it is, and then they briefly sense this massive uptick in energy. What the hell is that? Everyone except for Goku. And I was like, so we had to do it after all. I hope I'm not going to have to go over there. And so what happened ultimately was, as they're fighting, the longer we fight, the more energy he gets. I saw it. And he finally just grabs Vegeta's fist, sorry, Vegeta. And just kicks him back, and then all of a sudden he's got the artificial moon in his hand. And Vegeta's like, wait, what are you? No, you're not going to. I can't waste any more time with you. Waste time, Vegeta's like, you're wasting time? But all of a sudden he remembers, wait, the moon is there. And all of a sudden, you now get not a super golden, you get a golden Ozaro, but you don't get a Super Saiyan Ozaro. You get a Super Saiyan 2 Ozaro. That's the thing. And that's why I think a lot of people do me included, admittedly, a 10 times multiplier when it comes to the golden Ozaro form, is because Goku, in theory, was at Super Saiyan 3 when he did it. Though, when you look at the scene in GT, he's actually back to his base form. But, yeah, it's one of those things where they kind of go off that, is where they go. That isn't the actual official multiplier, by the way. That's just the normal kind of area which people kind of go with. So, with that said, Raditz basically gets a 10 times multiplier on Super Saiyan 2. The problem is, even with just a standard Golden Ozaro form, the 10 times 5 multiplier, and I think that's why Golden Ozaro are supposedly allowed a 500 times multiplier, because it's based off Super Saiyan. You're actually now doing 10 times off of a 100 base multiplier. So technically, he's got 1,000 times multiplier from his base form right now. Not Super Saiyan 4 levels of power, mind you. It's about a quarter of what a Super Saiyan 4 would theoretically be, but still, he is kind of wrecking Goku. He quickly just wrecks Vegeta's shop. Just, boom! And Vegeta's in the ground and just done. Like, he's just out. One just straight shot from him because he couldn't, between the speed and the power increase, he just could not keep up. Unfortunately, this is now, Raditz, this is what I've been implying that he's been training with. He can handle, he can at least identify friend from foe in a Golden Ozaro form, like a base Golden Ozaro form. But a Super Saiyan 2 Ozaro form, that is like, and he's like just barely keeping together, which Goku has to go and fly off, and you're like, Raditz, it's me, it's Goku. He still swings at Goku. Oh God, come on, bro, don't make me do this, because he's, Raditz would always say, if I can't control this, if I'm going to kill people, if I'm going to kill you or Chi-Chi or Gohan or anyone, take my tail off. Just do it. And, he finally just goes, fuck, I didn't want to have to do it. And he goes, ah! And Goku powers up as well, and he goes into Super Saiyan 3. Now, I didn't really imply that he was going to hit Super Saiyan 3, but I like the idea that Goku had hit that form, whereas, because he doesn't have a tail, so he had to push it with training with Raditz. So I do like that idea that he does have Super Saiyan 3, whereas Raditz doesn't. But Raditz has the Ozaro golden form, whereas Goku doesn't. So they have a nice trade-off here. And obviously, it's nowhere near Raditz's overall power. Like, he's a little stronger than Raditz still, but still, 400 times versus 1,000 times, he's still not anywhere near Raditz's power. But he's now got a big enough amp where he can actually, hopefully put him down without having to, do what he needs to. And, just, they clash, and Goku basically, gut checks him, just, it's like, Raditz, stop! And at this point now, he realizes he made the mistake because he hit him and basically just made Raditz see red. Like Will Smith at the Oscars. Yes, that's my one Will Smith joke I'm ever making on this channel. Moving on. Because I've actually never done it. I haven't done a video on that. I actually intended to, but I feel like it's important. I don't want to, but I kind of do. I don't know. For anyone watching this video, let me know if you want me to do a video talking about the Will Smith thing, because it's continued to evolve since it happened. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. By the way, one other thing. For the people who did versus against Will Smith, not doing that. And I'm not doing that because it wasn't like you asked me to do that years ago for no reason other than that you asked me to. It's that you did it in response to the Oscars and as a joke, and it's not funny. Yeah, I get the memes and we can laugh at the memes, but legitimately, like, what happened is not funny at all. So yeah, I'm not doing those. Anyway, I digress. Back to the plot and the relevant thing. So Goku just finally is like, he finally has to do it. He Kamehameha, Destructo, whatever. But he cuts off Raditz's tail. Kakarot, what happens? You pushed it too far, Raditz. And he finally pops out of the Super Saiyan 3 form. You had to go to the third stage just to stop me, didn't you? Wait, so it had to come to that, didn't it? It's like, yeah, sorry about that, bro. No, it was for the best. I told you to do it if you needed to, and it seemed to be needed to. I'll miss that power. But hey, look, they don't really have surnames on Vegeta, so or last names. So come on, we're Bardak's kids. We're the sons of Bardak. We can think words here. We can always push ourselves past our limits. It's like how things go with Babidi and Debora. Debora's taken care of. Debora and Babidi both taken care of, and Shin and Gohan both show up. Babidi's like in a containment. It's like, he's like trying to cast spells and he can't. It's like, thank you for your help. It's like, yes. What about Vegeta? Well, is the Majin spell going to wear off? The Babidi's gone, which we know for a fact it doesn't, because Babidi was near killed and it didn't go away. So it's like, unfortunately not. What should we do with him? What should we do with him? It's like, and so it's a good question. What do you do with Vegeta at this point? And they're like discussing. Vegeta's like kind of coming to. Damn it! Oh, And they now know Vegeta can't stay on this planet right now. At least not right now he can't. Because it's clear he wants the Dragon Balls. They're not getting them the Dragon Balls. Even if you try to look for them, eventually they pick up on it and like, nope. And, he's clearly, with the Majin symbol, all of his extra anger and aggression and resentment is brought to the forefront. So that's not a smart thing to do either. So he has to go. And, Goku's like, we're going to give you, you've helped us over the years, Vegeta. So we're going to give you one more chance. We're going to give you, consider this courtesy. Leave this planet and never come back. If you come back, there will no longer be any more, there will be no mercy. And, Vegeta's looking, and you can see that Rad's tail's got like, why should I believe you? You lost your tail, Raditz. You can't take that form anymore. As soon as I recover, I'd be able to go. I manage to take you on. And to which Radz points out, like, you might be able to take me, but you'll never be able to take Kakarot on. Kakarot has an even higher level of power than what either of us have. You do what? I lie? Do you honestly tell me, Vegeta? Do I look like I'm lying right now? And so, they give him a Senzu bean. They get the hell out of here, take your ship and get out. And Vegeta just goes off and just decides to be piss angry for the rest of his life. Will he come back into the fray? Oh, sure, maybe. But until then, all's well that ends well. And really, we now have the start of the Battle of Gods of Dragon Ball Super. So Beerus wakes up, hears about the legend of the Super Saiyan. They see he has the footage. But because Goku and Raditz don't have instant transmission, they're not on King Kai's planet. Beerus goes to King Kai to talk to him, obviously. And, Saiyan knows that the Saiyans are on Earth. They go, they show up. Raditz and Goku wouldn't know who Beerus is. I really don't doubt it. At best, they may have heard his name, or Raditz may have heard his name in passing. But we do remember that Vegeta knew who he was because he actually saw him. These guys, I doubt they ever saw Beerus, let alone even heard of him. And that's and saying that they heard of him is like kind of being kind at this point. So, everything's okay at the moment. Beerus isn't trying anything, but he's wondering where this Super Saiyan God is. And the question really arises here. Is Goku or Raditz going to try to, fight Beerus initially? And I don't think so, because they don't even know who he is. Although King Kai may very well tell them who this guy is, and this may excite Goku, but Raditz, being at least a little more level-headed brother, be like, Kakarot, don't be a fool. If this guy's what King Kai says, we can't take him on. But I just want to test it out, test myself out against him, please. And there's says, in all my years, I've never had such a, how do you say? I've never had such a request. Why not? And it's like, yeah! And Goku goes in and gets his ass thoroughly kicked. And it's like, oh, well, I must admit, that was fun. But that just proves that the Super Saiyan God isn't here. How unfortunate. Fortunately, you don't have the incident with Boo, so he still gets pudding. And he's actually still generally a jovial guy. That's why I like Beerus so much. He's self-centered, selfish. But he's actually kind of a jovial guy and kind of actually a fun guy to be around when he's in a good mood. But he's also, when he means business, he means business. That's why he's such a complex character. He's a cool character. I love Beerus. He's one of my favorite Dragon Ball series characters. But ultimately, they do decide, why don't we use the Dragon Balls and ask Shenron to see if there's a Super Saiyan God around. It's like, not a bad idea. Oh, little Beerus, I'm sorry for looking down at you. I don't mean to look down at you. It's just my height and all that. I do kind of like that joke. It's stupid, but it's a fun stupid. So they explain the ritual for the Super Saiyan God, and here we have a bit of a conundrum, because Vegeta and Bulma still ultimately had Trunks. They did still have him, because it was just passing in the night, as I said, kind of thing, and he ended up effing off and doing his own thing. Bra's not even born at this time. But that gives us Trunks, Goten, Raditz, Gohan, but there is no Vegeta. However, there is a Nappa. I think that's the thing here. Nappa came back ultimately, along with Vegeta. And he's kind of been out of the fray. I think Nappa, despite his personality, is very aware of when he is completely outmatched. Nappa, despite how it seems, is not He's a meathead, yes. But I don't think he's he's completely idiot, like devoid of intelligence. I think he knows what's better for him than others, and I think ultimately over the years he's kind of like come to the realization, even though he got stronger through training too, which is nowhere near Vegeta's level, that I can look. I don't have to. I like fighting, but I don't have to fight. Vegeta, I can't really do much against anyone here on this planet. I've lost my tail at this point, so maybe I can try to just be hang out with these guys. And I think over the years he's actually kind of become a bit of a member of the Z Fighters. He's granted, we know he's a much older Saiyan, so he would be starting to reach his limit in terms of how keeping that youth around him before reaching the Paragus age, where he just starts to rapidly age. Because that's apparently how Saiyans work. They maintain their youth up until like their 60s, 70s, even 80s, but then they start to rapidly age. So they're in their prime for much longer. Nappa would be reaching the tail end of that, but he still can fight and still do what he needs to help out. And so Nappa actually goes and he's there, and he's actually been pretty happy. And if anything, I think Nappa would actually know who the hell Beerus is and be scared shitless of this. Like, he's the destroyer. Lord Beerus. Lord Beerus? And he explains who he is, and like this guy literally can tap his finger and wipe out a planet, which we know he can do because we saw that. That's why I used that example. He can literally wipe out the universe itself if he wants to. That is the level of power that we are dealing with here, and we are not prepared for it. And so Nappa's there. So, but that gives you Goku, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and Nappa. Now, luckily, I do think Gohan has think words here. I do think Gohan has either met Videl and they are a thing together, or has met someone else. I think he would have met someone as well, and I think it probably would be Videl. I think, despite the fact Mr. Satan isn't as big a thing in this world as he is in the canon, those two would still go to school together, have an attraction, and ultimately get together. So you'd still have the requirements barely to have a Super Saiyan God there. Which, Goku obviously goes the first round, and, Raditz is focusing and, trying to sense God Ki like Vegeta was. Their fight goes about the same, and it's all end well because this version of Beerus actually isn't hell-bent on destroying the planet this time around. He's just, wanting to fight. And he was a lot more accepting of the situation, I guess is the best way to put it. He was like, oh, well, I'm pudding, yum. That's what happened here, I think. And so, really, that would lead us into Resurrection F, where, well, I'll stop at the 25-minute mark. Raditz and Goku both go. See, Raditz isn't like Vegeta, where he's like, I need to get stronger and all that, blah, blah, blah. I mean, he wants to get stronger. I think Whis gives him the opportunity along with Goku. Unlike before, though, they actually go and train at the same time together, which helps strengthen them both equally. And because they both have Kaioken, they actually can both use Kaioken Blue if they need to, which is cool. Raditz, though, has been working on something else since the loss of his tail. And at first, he's able to kind of access it. He uses, like, the false moon. Again, like, he constantly uses the false moon to kind of try to access it, but with no avail. Eventually, one day, though, he does get into he does ultimately trigger something. But it's not what he's hoping for or what anyone else might be thinking, at least at this time. He triggers the Yukari form, and he's just like, it's like, wow. And, Goku's like, wow, what happens? I've been focusing so much on trying to regain the power of the Ozaro, to combine it with Super Saiyan again, but with no avail. This is the best I can manage. Like, he tries to even do it with Super Saiyan, and it's no good. One of these days, maybe I will create. That's actually a fun idea. I actually kind of like that idea. Create the strongest canon form of well, obviously, based on everything we get in all the series, the strongest version of Goku we can make. So maybe one day I'll do that. That sounds like a lot of fun, actually. I'll have to, like, put all the forms together, know what is canon, what isn't canon. And then, I mean, when I say canon, I mean, like, I'm not doing Super Saiyan 5 or 10 or Ultra or Omega Saiyan or something like that, like the stuff that you see in, like, all these fan-made. It has to be every form that has existed in the Dragon Ball Z, like, universe stuff. And that includes heroes, admittedly. So you might get like limit breaker stuff. I know there's like that multiversal tree thing for him, but that's not a form per se. That's just Super Saiyan Blue with that level of power to it. But that would include Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego, whatever Goku's new Ultra Instinct form is going to be. Because I am following, I don't read it, but I like watch like Geekdom 101. So I do follow the what's going on in the Super manga. So we know that Goku his new form is going to be like a different form of Ultra Instinct. So that's going to be fun. But until then, yeah, they train. Right now, all he's got is Akari. He can't even combine it with Super Saiyan Blue because of just how it is. And that would be, and we know for a fact you can combine it with Super Saiyan, but he quickly realizes that's not a smart idea, remembering what happened the last time he did that with like Ozaro. So right now he's just stuck with the Akari, but he's also got Blue and stuff like that. So Resurrection F happens, and I actually think, because I do think Resurrection F does still happen. But, well, does it though? I should take that back. Does Resurrection F actually happen? Because I could see Vegeta at some point showing up at Frieza's original as I'm the new commander of this army. Deal with it, and just slaughters the group and just takes over. So I mean, you could get a ragtag group with him, but I don't think you'd get Resurrection F in this. He died on planet Earth along with King Cold, so that's. I mean, he died on Earth too, and so they went back for him. But I think because of Vegeta, they might keep slightly closer tabs on the Dragon Balls and probably have at least one of them with them at all times. So, like, someone couldn't just steal them. So I think I don't think you get Resurrection F. I'll take that back. So that will lead us into the Universe 6 tournament, and we'll be back on next Saturday, to talk about that. Till then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.